Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Today I'm gonna make a review about these fins. It is a Maris Concorde fins. It is a plastic fins and I'm gonna explain why, in my opinion, this is the best entry-level fins on the market. If you are a beginner freediver and you're looking for the fins, for your first fins, my opinion, this is one of the best option for you. And at the end of the video I'm gonna explain how I'm planning to test these fins, how I'm planning to evaluate their performance. So if you're interested in this, stay until the end and you'll know how I'm planning to do it. So guys, if you want to buy these fins, you can buy it on Amazon. I'm gonna leave the links to these fins in the description. It's gonna be affiliated link. So check it out. The price is around 120 US dollars. And if you're first time here, my name is Sergey, I'm a freediving instructor trainer, and on this channel I'm sharing with all of you guys everything what I personally know about freediving. So if you're first time here, subscribe to this channel because you're gonna learn a lot of useful information which is gonna help you to become a better and definitely safer freediver. Okay guys, Maris Concorde fins. Why do I think that this is one of the best fins for the beginner freediver? As always, when you're choosing something which you never tried before, it's better to test it. So if you have a chance, maybe during your first freediving course, or if you have any freediving friends who are using different fins, of course I recommend to test it before you buy it, because the foot pocket can be really comfortable for one freediver and like really uncomfortable for another. However, Maris foot pocket, in my opinion, it's more or less okay for everyone, because we are using these fins in our school for the last 5-6 years, and like so many students was using such fins, and majority of them more or less satisfied how they sit on their feet. So this is why I'm thinking that for the most of the freedivers, Maris foot pocket is gonna be okay. Probably if you have like really wide foot pocket, maybe it's not the best option for you, because it's relatively narrow. So it's really good for my feet, but I don't know about you. So this is why, again, for the foot pocket it's better to test it. What else about these fins? As I said, it is a plastic fins, like pretty basic. There is a foot pocket, there is a rails, and there is a blade. There are a few other models in a Maris company, like freediving fins, which have blades which you can remove from the foot pocket and then change. So for example, you can buy such fins with a plastic blade, but then in the future, when your experience is going to grow, when your technique is going to grow, then you can change it with a carbon blade. But in my opinion, when you start freediving, the plastic fins is more than enough for you. Of course, it depends how much money you're ready to spend. So if you completely don't worry about the price tags, then maybe you can buy the most expensive carbon fins right from the beginning. And I saw some freedivers do it. No judgment. If you have a lot of money, why not? There are a few really popular brands which making carbon fins, such as Molchanov, such as Alchemy, Setma Composition, C4. So obviously their performance is much better. However, if you like trying to find the golden middle between performance and price, this can be a good option for you, again, if you're a beginner freediver. Usually the biggest critique of the plastic fins is they are pretty stiff, and it's absolutely true. The plastic fins is much stiffer than, let's say, carbon fins, especially proper carbon fins. So this is why for sure it's gonna compromise slightly your performance and technique. However, the Maris fins, it's not like a stiffest fins on the market. Let's say if you compare it to maybe crazy fins, the crazy plastic fins, they are much stiffer, and this is why the performance is going to be compromised much more and the technique is going to be compromised much more. However, these fins, they're relatively soft for the plastic fins, right? So this is why, guys, if you are diving in the ocean, let's say less than, I don't know, like maybe 40 meters, or if you're dynamic somewhere between 100 130, then this fins is going to be okay for you. This fins is going to be okay for your level. You can execute more or less okay technique, it's probably going to be slightly like more energy consumption with these fins compared to the proper carbon fins. However, again, for this distance is going to be fine. So guys, this is the reasons why our school mainly have such fins. At the beginning I bought different fins. I bought fins from Cressy, from Maris, from Bouchard, from Omer. However, at the end of the day, for my students I prefer to have such fins. Like, the combination of price and performance is the best one. So this is my recommendation if you're looking for your first fins, and if you're looking specifically for your first plastic fins, I highly recommend these fins. So as I said, the structure is pretty basic. Foot pocket, comfortable foot pocket, then you have a rails, it is for the better performance. At the end they have this kind of shape on their tip of their fins. What they're saying, it's preventing the fins from moving from side to side when you're kicking. So again, it's kind of improving the performance. So rails and this kind of tip of the fins is slightly improve their performance according to the Maris. The treatment of such fins is pretty easy as well. Just make sure that after each pool and open water session you like wash these fins with just a fresh water, and then when you done it, make sure you're not leaving your fins as any other equipment under direct sun. It's not really good for your equipment. So let's say you wash it in a fresh water and then leave it somewhere in a shadow. And how long this fins is going to serve you? For sure, even if you're using them every day, they're going to serve you a few years, like 1.5, 2 years. And by that time your technique will become much better, and this time maybe it's going to be appropriate to buy more expensive, much more expensive carbon fins. So I'm gonna do the test, as I said, soon, in a few days. So I'm gonna use different fins. I'm gonna use these fins, and I'm gonna use my carbon fins, which is emulsional fins, for 70 meter dynamic. In fact, it's gonna be 77 meter because our pool like a little strange in terms of the size. It's 22 meters. So I'm gonna swim 3.5 distance. Is gonna be 77, and I'm gonna express for you guys my subjective feeling, how I feel after each dynamic. So let's say my first swim is going to be, let's say, with a plastic fins, second with a carbon, third with a plastic, and the last one with a carbon. And I also going to measure the time, and we will see if my technique going to change a lot and if my time is going to change a lot. Obviously it's going to be like a subjective evaluation, of course, and also this fins is going to have a little disadvantage because I mainly now use my emulsional fins, so this is why my technique is kind of more adapted to emulsional fins. So I haven't been using these fins for dynamic for a while, so this is why they're gonna have a little disadvantage, right? So, but we're gonna see. So guys, one more time, overall I think this fins is a really good option if you're looking for your first fins. If you're a beginner / intermediate freediver and you are not sure that you're ready to invest for carbon fins, because carbon fins can be like close to 1,000 US dollars, like 800, 900 US dollars, and this one is just around like $100, like maybe 120 or something like that. And guys, as I said before, if you want to buy these fins, the link, affiliated links to these fins is going to be right in the description. Click it. For you it's going to be the same price. However, if you click this link and buy these fins, then it's going to be small commission for me. Thank you for watching this video till the end. I hope this video was useful. I hope if you're looking for freediving fins, you're going to choose this one, because again, it's really good option for beginner freediver. And if it was a useful video, don't forget to click the like button, and I will see you next time.